The wide receiver 21 on the week, expert consensus, is Chris Olave. I am more optimistic about Chris Olave because he's the wide receiver 17 in fantasy points per game. He's wide receiver 24 in total points, and that's even with him missing week 6. If you look at Olave's last 3 games, he's finished no worse than 18. He's finished as high as the wide receiver 6. Even in week 2 against Jamel Dean of Tampa Bay, he may have only had 80 receiving yards, but he had 330 air yards, which is the most air yards ever. The most air yards ever, 330 air yards. Finished as the wide receiver 42 that week, but no Jarvis Landry, no Michael Thomas. He's gonna get the targets, okay? Even so, when Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas were out in week 5 against Seattle, Chris Olave, 45% of the snaps because he left halfway through the game. 6 targets already, 4 receptions. He already had a touchdown. He already had 75 air yards and 54 receiving yards. He only played half the game, and he was the wide receiver 18. It does not matter who the quarterback's going to be. Chris Olave is going to smash this week. He is a mid-pack wide receiver 2 with mid-pack wide receiver 1 upside. Looking at the matchup, right? This is, a middle of the pack matchup. The defense for Arizona is 18th in most fantasy points given up to the wide receiver position. So it's not like it's a disastrous matchup. It's not like, it's going to be super difficult. He's facing Marco Wilson. That's his projected matchup. So I'm not concerned about Chris Olave. This is a premier first-round pick prospect that the Saints have gone all in on. They even traded their first-round pick last year to make sure that they got next year to make sure that they got Chris Olave. So he's going to get targeted heavily. He's going to get targeted often and down the field too. These are going to be high leverage targets. Chris Olave, some of the most air yards in the NFL. And so, yes, you should be bullish. You should confidently start Chris Olave as a wide receiver too, not low end, but have high expectations. He should be above consensus in your rankings as well.